Hi everybody, it's Jennifer back again with a couple of suggestions for you to help you on your way to arriving at what I call your American voice, the way you would like to speak and be perceived when you speak English. One of the most frustrating things of being an adult learner of a foreign language, and I know this because I have had this experience when I've been learning other languages, is that people won't correct you when you make a mistake. Because as we are all adults, it's considered impolite to correct someone's pronunciation or their emphasis or stress or anything that they're doing which detracts from how well they're understood. And so you'll discover, as many of my clients have and my friends have, that you've been mispronouncing a word or most particularly substituting one word for another for years and no one ever corrected you about it. And sometimes people even don't understand you very well, but they won't say, I don't understand you. Can you say that again? They'll just pretend that they understand. And so you are left unclear as to whether or not somebody has understood you because they're not reacting quite the way you expected. So this has happened to a client of mine now on several occasions where she's had this big aha moment as she's realized that she's been using one word when she intended to use another word. And we have a lot of words like this in English. So words can be easily confused, like empathize versus emphasize. So every time she wanted to say emphasize, she would say empathize, which to a native American speaker is very different and could be quite confusing. Probably in context, they kind of get it, right? But she was appalled to discover that she'd been saying this, substituting this wrong word. And when I told this story to a friend of mine, she said, I know how she feels. She said, I had no idea that you didn't say clothes instead of clothes instead of clothes. And no one had corrected her. And she had been saying that for years. And in fact, when she told me that story, I thought, oh, that's true. I did notice that you said clothes, but I thought it was kind of cute. And of course, I did understand. But if you're a person who doesn't want to be making those kinds of mistakes, then it behooves you to find someone who will correct you nicely, of course, right? But you need to make it safe for them. And one thing I would suggest is don't just say to a friend, hey, when I say a word wrong or if I use a different word than I meant to use, would you go ahead and tell me? Because that's probably too big of a burden for them to do. But maybe you could do it in small doses, like during a lunch, for example. You could say, hey, just during this lunch, if you hear me mispronounce something, or if you hear me substitute one word for another, would you be willing to mention it to me? And I won't hold it against you. You'd be helping me out. I'm trying to work on my English, and I'm trying to be a better English speaker. And probably somebody would say, sure, I'll help you out with that. And then, of course, when you do get feedback and somebody says, hey, you just did something wrong, you have to make it safe for them, right? You have to show your appreciation and say thank you, because that was a thing that they did for you because they're trying to help you get better. So having a friend where you make it safe for them to correct you, or anybody, somebody like me, a teacher like me, who's willing to spend some time with you and actually correct you when you make mistakes is extremely valuable. And as I say, you might have many aha moments just as my client did. And best of luck to you as you continue on your journey to speak English the way you would like to.